the midnight ride of Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas is taking carloads of toys to the Children's Hospital in the next town. He's making a midnight run, so the toys will be there by tomorrow morning. Light your headlamps, Thomas. Off you go into the night. Peep, peep. There goes Thomas along the track. Ping, ping, crash! Oh dear, some fallen rocks have broken Thomas's headlamps. What will Thomas do without any lights? He can't run in the dark. And the children in the hospital will be so disappointed if they don't get those toys. But look, a farmer is letting Thomas the lamb from his barn. That's better, isn't it? Go slowly, Thomas. That small lamp gives only a small light. Luckily, some more friends have arrived to help. That's even better. And the nice man in the general store has offered to lend Thomas his Christmas lights. There you go, Thomas. Don't you look cheery? There's a hospital in the distance, but the tunnel lies ahead, and the tunnel is awfully dark. Look, Thomas has a special escort. Hooray for Thomas! He made it to the Children's Hospital. Thomas the Tank Engine, you've lit up the night. Hooray for Thomas! Thomas the Tank Engine and his friends were very excited. The fair was in town. All the engines in the yard wanted to go, but there was too much work to do. So only one engine could be spared. So Top and Hat chose him to go to the fair and give the children rides. I wish I could go to the fair, said Thomas. You're in luck, his driver said. We have to bring some coal back to the station. You can see the fair along the way. Peep, peep, said Thomas. Thomas chugged along his tracks. Soon he was at the fair. There were many things to see and do. He saw a marching band, a petting zoo with lots of animals, and children playing games. And there was Henry, with coaches full of children ready to take a ride. Henry blew his whistle when he saw Thomas. Thomas chugged to the coal mine. He loaded his freight cars with coal and headed for home. Suddenly, dark clouds rolled in. Big raindrops fell from the sky. Everyone in the fair ran for cover. The rain fell harder and harder. Henry hated being wet. His driver unhooked him from his coaches, then he backed Henry into the tunnel to stay dry. When the rain stopped, Henry was ready to come out of his tunnel. He tried and tried, but he couldn't move. His back wheels were stuck in the mud. So Top Hat didn't know what to do. Just then, Thomas chugged by on his way back to the station. His driver saw the crowd standing around Henry. He went over to see what was going on. "Thank goodness you've come," says the Topham Hat. "Henry is stuck. We need an engine to give the children rides." Thomas felt bad for his friend Henry, but he was happy to be able to help. Quickly, the waterman hooked Henry's coaches onto Thomas. Everyone cheered, "Hooray for Thomas!" And everyone had a good time. Gordon loved nothing more than speeding along the line as fast as he could with the wind blowing across his funnel. "I'm the fastest engine on Sodor," he boasted. But not all the engines were impressed. "Speed isn't everything," said James smugly. "But being reliable and useful is," said Thomas. One morning, Satapa arrived with news of an important job for Thomas. "I want you to get a jet engine from the airfield," he said. "What's a jet engine?" asked Percy. Satapa Hat explains that a jet engine pushes hot air out of its back and goes very, very fast. As fast as a rocket. Thomas liked making special deliveries for the Topham Hat, but secretly he wished he could go as fast as Gordon. When Thomas arrived at the docks, he was excited to see the jet engine. It was shiny and modern, and Thomas had never seen anything like it. Cranky was taking his time lifting the jet engine. "Hurry up," huffed Thomas. "This is a special." Cranky did not like being told what to do. He was careless as heck and knocked the switch on the jet engine. And the switch started the engine, and the engine began to whine. "Uh-oh," said Cranky, and before he could say anything else, the jet engine started rocking up the track, pushing Thomas in front of it. "Oh!" cried Thomas. He was going faster than ever been before, and faster than Gordon ever been before. The fields of trees were just a blur as he whizzed along the track. James and Percy watched in amazement as he flew past. No one had ever seen a tank engine go so fast. His driver tried to put on the brakes. "Slow down," he cried. "You must try to stop." But Thomas couldn't stop. He just went faster and faster. He had never been so excited. Birdie the bus was waiting at the level crossing. He was surprised to see his friend moving so quickly. "Want to race, Thomas?" beaked Birdie as he saw Thomas approaching. "Never mind," he said as Thomas flew by. Thomas's driver called to the signalman to change the signals. "Clear the lines," he said. "It's a runaway train." The signalman rushed to switch the points, but he was too late. Just as he reached them, he saw Thomas whoosh by. When Henry saw Thomas, his jaw dropped in astonishment. "Just wait till Gordon sees you," he called. Thomas whizzed through the station, and all the passengers on the platform stared. Thomas was such a blur that they couldn't see who he was. Who was that? Surely even Gordon can't go fast like that, they said to each other. Gordon had no idea that Thomas was racing down the main line. "I am the fastest," Gordon said to himself proudly as he wheezed along. The next moment, Faith fell as he saw Thomas whizzing towards him on the other track. "Hi, Gordon. Bye, Gordon," whistled Thomas as he shot past. At last, the jet engine ran out of fuel, and Thomas was back on his own power. Thomas Steam Jelly International Station. Sorry for overtaking you back there, Gordon teased Thomas. Overtaking me, I hadn't noticed, Gordon huffed. Did you notice the fastest engine on Sodor, said Henry. Yes, I am the fastest, chuffed Thomas. Percy felt a little sorry for Gordon. Gordon can't go as fast as a jet engine, he's only a steam engine, he said. But he's still full of hot air, teased James, and Gordon pretended he wasn't listening. Thomas and the Old Building. One day on the island of Sodor, Thomas and Percy were taking some machinery to the demolition site. I'm puffed out, panted Thomas. There's a lot to do today on the island of Sodor. I know, I'm puffed out too, said Percy. Let's get a drink at the water tower, Thomas. Okay, Percy, let's go. But when they arrived, James was there. Bust my boiler, you and Percy are worn out, laughed James. You should let a big engine to do the work. Thomas and Percy were cross. James, little engines can't do big things, said Thomas. Yeah, added Percy. James scoffed as he went to Tisma's sheds. James is such a bossy boiler, grumbled Percy. Don't pay any attention to him, Percy. He's just being a jerk, said Thomas. The top hat was at the sheds when Thomas and Percy arrived. Thomas and Percy, I need you to take some cars to the demolition site. Yes, sir, they said as they went off to collect their cars. Thomas and Percy had dropped off their freight cars at the demolition site and they were ready to go home. Whew! Well, that's done. Our work is finished. Now we can get some sleep at Tisma's sheds, added Thomas. I'm looking forward to a nice rest. So Thomas and Percy went home. But as they came around the bend, Thomas saw an old building. I wonder what's inside the old building, Percy. I'm not sure, Thomas, but this track is the only way home, said Percy. And we have to be careful too, added Thomas as they went to the old building. When they were inside, it was very dark and scary. I don't like this, Thomas. It's very scary. Me too, but we have to be brave, said Thomas. Then there was a rumble. Cinders and ashes! What's happening now? They soon found out. The building was old. It blocked the exit. Cinders and ashes! Cried Thomas. We're stuck! And they were. That night, the engines noticed that Thomas and Percy didn't return home. The top hat was worried. Hurry, I want you to go find Thomas and Percy. Right away, sir, said Henry, and he puffed away. When Henry arrived at the demolition site, he heard a sound. It was Thomas and Percy blowing their whistles for help. Thomas, Percy, is that you? It's me, Henry, he whistled. Yes, it is, cried Percy. Are we glad to see you? We're trapped inside and there's no way out of here, said Thomas. Henry knew that Thomas and Percy needed to be rescued, so he went to get the workmen as fast as he could. I hope Henry will be back soon, chuffed Percy. Me too. We'll be trapped in here forever, added Thomas. Soon, Henry came back with the rescue team, and they started to work straight away. At last, the track was cleared. Thomas, Percy, you better get out there quick. It's gonna fall. And they got out just in time. Phew! That was a close call. Thank you for coming, Henry. I'm glad to be useful, smiled Henry as they went home to Tisma Sheds. Everyone's very happy that Henry found Thomas and Percy, and so was the Topham Hatt. Well done, Henry, he boomed. You have saved Thomas and Percy from a close call. You are a really useful engine. Thank you, sir, said Henry. I'm glad that you came to our rescue, Thomas smiled. Yeah, you were really brave, Henry, added Percy, and everyone agreed.